cloud computing. The agenda: introduction, virtualization, cloud infrastructure, programming model, security in the cloud. First, we see about the introduction to cloud computing. Evolution of cloud computing. Cloud computing is all about renting computing services. This idea first came in the 1950s. In making cloud computing what it is today, 5 technologies played a vital role. These are distributed system and its peripherals, virtualization, Web 2.0, service orientation, and utility computing. Introduction. Distributed systems. It is a composition of multiple independent systems, but all of them are depicted as a single entity to the user. The purpose of distributed system is to share resources and use them effectively and efficiently. Distributed system possess characteristics such as scalability, concurrency, continuous availability, heterogeneity, and independence in failures. But the main problem with this system was that all the systems were required to be present at the same geographical location. Thus, to solve this problem, distributed computing led to the 3 more types of computing, and they were mainframe computing, cluster computing, and grid computing. Mainframe computing. Mainframes, which first came into existence in 1951, are highly powerful and reliable computing machines. These are responsible for handling large data such as massive input-output operation. Cluster computing. In 1980s, cluster computing came as an alternative to mainframe computing. Each machine in the cluster was connected to each other by a network with high bandwidth. These were way cheaper than those mainframe systems. Next, grid computing. In 1990s, the concept of grid computing was introduced. It means that different systems were placed at entirely different geographical location, and these all were connected via the internet. These systems belongs to different organization, and thus the grid consisted of heterogeneous nodes. Virtualization. It was introduced nearly 40 years back. It referred to the process of creating virtual layer over the hardware, which allows the user to run multiple instances simultaneously on the hardware. Web 2.0. It is the interface through which the cloud computing services interact with the clients. It is because of Web 2.0 that we have interactive and dynamic web pages. Service orientation. It acts as a reference model for cloud computing. It supports low cost, flexible, and evolvable application. 2 important concepts were introduced in this computing model. These were quality of service, which also include the service level agreement, and software as a service. Utility computing. It is a computing model that defines service provisioning techniques for services such as compute services along with other major services such as storage, infrastructure, etc., which are provisioned on a pay-per-use basis. Thus, the above technology contributed to the making of cloud computing. What is a cloud computing? Cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of IT resources over the internet with the pay-as-you-go pricing. Instead of buying, owning, and maintaining physical data center and server, you can access technology services such as computing power, storage, and databases, and an as needed basis from cloud provider. Who is using cloud computing? Organizations of every type, size, and industry are using the cloud for a wide variety of use cases such as data backup, disaster recovery, email, virtual desktops, software development and testing, big data analytics, and customer facing web application. For example, healthcare companies are using the cloud to develop more personalized treatments for patients. Financial services companies are using the cloud to power real-time fraud detection and prevention. And video game makers are using the cloud to deliver online games to millions of players around the world. This is the cloud computing reference architecture. The NIST Cloud Computing Reference Architecture, which identifies the major actors, their activities and function in cloud computing. This diagram depicts a generic high-level architecture and is intended to facilitate the understanding of the requirements, users, characteristics, and standards of cloud computing. In cloud computing reference architecture, there are 5 major actors: cloud consumer, cloud provider, cloud carrier, cloud auditor, and cloud broker. Each actor is an entity that participates in a transaction or process and perform tasks in cloud computing. The table briefly lists the actors defined in the NIST Cloud Computing Reference Architecture. First one, cloud consumer. A person or organization that maintain a business relationship with and uses services from cloud provider. Next, cloud provider. A person, organization or entity responsible for making a service available to interested parties. Cloud auditor. A party that can conduct independent assessment of cloud services, information system operation, performance and security of the cloud implementation. Next, cloud broker. An entity that manages the use, performance and delivery of cloud services and negotiate relationship between cloud provider and cloud consumer. Next one, cloud carrier. An intermediary that provides connectivity and transport of cloud services from cloud provider to cloud consumer. The next one is cloud model. There are two models, deployment model and service model. In deployment model, a cloud deployment model represents a specific type of cloud environment, primarily distinguished by ownership, size and access. There are 3 common cloud deployment models: public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud. First one is public cloud, are owned and operated by third-party cloud service provider which deliver the computing resources like server and storage over the internet. Next, private cloud. It contrasts with its public counterpart, not available to the public, but it is built specifically for a single organization to fit its needs. Next one is hybrid cloud. It is a combination of private cloud combined with the use of public cloud services, allowing data and application to move between private and public clouds. This model gives business greater flexibility and more deployment option. Next, service model. There are different approaches to cloud-based services. First one, IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. IaaS mean infrastructure as a service. PaaS mean platform as a service. SaaS mean software as a service. Infrastructure as a service. It is a cloud computing offering in which A vendor provides user access to computing resources such as servers, storage, and networking. Organizations use their own platform and application within a service provider infrastructure. Example: AWS, Amazon Web Services, IBM Software, Microsoft Azure. Next, platform as a service is a cloud computing offering that provide user a cloud environment in which they can develop, manage, and deliver application. In addition to storage and other computing resources, users are able to use a suite of pre-built tools to develop, customize, and test their own application. Example: Microsoft Azure, Google App Engine, IBM Bluemix. Next, software as a service is a cloud computing offering that provides user with access to a vendor's cloud-based software. Users do not install application on their local devices. Instead, the application reside on a remote cloud network accessed through the web or an API. Through the application, user can store and analyze data and collaborate on a